Greetings, class of 2022. This is Ms. Bauman coming to you to briefly, hopefully briefly go over the pre-ACT score report that you guys have hopefully received in the mail by now. So typically we go over this information with you during a WIN session, but since we're not together right now, we thought we would try to send you the results home. So hopefully they've arrived by now if you did take the test. And then the additional materials, the Understanding Your Pre-ACT booklet is available online. So I've linked it here. That gives you a little bit more details than I'm going to go over today. It would be helpful for you to take a look at it at some point. Again, the link is posted right here in this presentation that will be on the guidance website. And then the test booklet is a helpful tool as well. So the booklet that you actually took the test from, that is returned to you typically, so you can take a look at your questions and your answers and kind of do a little bit of analysis with it. We do have plans to get that to you before the end of the school year. It's just not going to happen right now, simply because we're not sure how things are going to proceed at this point. So let's take a look at this report. This is just an example report we have, and I just want to briefly go over a few pieces with you to point out the highlights and some things we think would be most helpful to you. So the pre-ACT is based on a score of 1 to 35. The real ACT is 1 to 36, so don't confuse the two. The pre-ACT is 1 to 35. But you have 4 subtests like you took that day on February 25th, math, science, English, and reading. Your composite is an average of those 4. And then your STEM score is the average of your math and science. You can see these little gray bars here on the score report. Those are college readiness benchmarks. So we want to see where students are going to place in those college readiness benchmarks. And again, this is kind of just a range. We're just trying to give you some feedback to know where to work, what things to work on as you move forward. So those college readiness benchmarks, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner there, they're explained. It basically explains that if you were to meet that college readiness benchmark at this point, you have a 50% chance or higher of getting a B or higher in a freshman level class in that subject, and a 75% chance or better of obtaining a C or higher. So that kind of it just gives you the readiness piece that they're looking for. Again, it's based on subject and based on your freshman year and classes you might take that freshman year. Another part of the ACT score report is the predicted composite score you might get for the actual ACT. That's listed on top here. So you can see that the person got a 19, but their composite range is predicted to be at 18 to 21. And then it breaks it down by subscores as well. We're pretty confident in this prediction. We have given this pre-ACT test for many years, and our students typically fall in that range quite often. Again, that's just assuming that you don't do any additional preparation or nothing really changes to keep your achievement atypical. So you can kind of see here it said assuming typical achievement and growth. So there are a lot of things that people can do to improve or not improve their ACT score based on the classes they choose to take, the preparation they choose to do, how well rested or serious they take it that day. Those can all impact your actual score. So this is just a good range, an area to know kind of where you are headed in your current state, and then maybe looking at some things you can do if you're looking to improve your score. They break down every subject area and see kind of how you do on those types of questions within each subject area. So math is a really good one to take a look at. This student was particularly strong in number and quantity, got 3 out of 3 correct. So one might suggest that they shouldn't work any further on those skills, but maybe take a look at the skills where they didn't do as well on. So this particular student only got 1 out of 3 correct on statistics and probability, and 4 out of 10 correct on modeling. So those might be some areas that a student might want to go back and study or take a look at or gain some understanding in before taking the ACT. The same process can be applied to any of the subject areas, English, reading, and science. So it's really nice that they break it down for you so you know where to kind of put your practice and time into moving forward. You took a interest inventory on the day of the test and asked you several questions about things that you might be interested in. I know that some students were annoyed by how repetitive it is, but it is a kind of a validation process. So they want to make sure that you answer the same question multiple times the same way to make sure that you are answering it truthfully. So you can see the circular graphic here is based on the Hollins codes. So there are four main career areas: data, ideas, things, and people. It kind of goes north, south, east, west, or west, east. And then within that are, the people and data, the data and things. It kind of does a combo. So your shaded area kind of indicates where you fell based on how you answered those interest inventory questions. If you got a Region 99 shaded in, it just means that your answers weren't conclusive enough to give you a career area. So really the best way to use this information is to go to that website that is listed right there, actprofile.org. The map then becomes interactive and gives you a lot of information and feedback based on careers and interest areas, that kind of how they match up, and finding a career or a vocation that might be satisfying to you moving forward. You were asked to also identify a career area that you were interested in, and then they gave you some feedback on how well that fit with how you expressed interest. So you said you were interested in a certain career, but you had answered all these questions about interest, and they tell you whether or not there's any overlap there. So for this particular person, they were a people and ideas person, and but they expressed interest in management, so that's a medium fit. So there's some overlap. One might encourage that person to take a look more at the people and ideas piece of it all, or the working with people piece of it all, to maybe find a career that might be slightly more satisfying. This is not written in stone. This is not meant to help you or to make you choose a certain career. It's just a helpful tool to help you consider all the options that might be out there. And again, just really in the end, resulting in a satisfying career, satisfying financially, satisfying emotionally, psychologically, all of those things we want for you. If you take a look at, I believe the back page, I actually don't have a report in front of me because they are at school right now. They break down every single subtest by question, the correct answer, and the incorrect response. So this is where that test booklet, the actual exam booklet, would have been helpful, and we hope to get those to you, because you can go back and look at all the questions that you didn't get correct and look at what the answer you chose, and then look at the correct answer and do a little bit of analysis on your own to see, oh, I was rushed, or oh, I did not understand the question correctly, or I really don't understand that concept. I need to look at it again. Sometimes students will find that towards the end of each subtest, they'll get quite a few wrong. That's a pretty good indicator that you were rushed and just didn't have enough time, and very much something you can work on over the next year before you take the real ACT. So next steps, just take a look at your results, use that booklet to examine the different pieces of the report, look for patterns, and maybe develop a little bit of a plan to improve upon the areas that you feel like you need to. Then, determine a plan for taking your ACT for your junior year. Most students wait until spring to take it, but if you want to take it earlier, just take a look at when it's available. All that information is on the ACT website. But this is a good time to be talking with your family about what the plan is for the ACT. There's a variety of prep options. Includes the ACT online prep that's available to all pre-ACT students, the ACT online prep that's available for purchase. We have the academy here at the high school, and then you could seek out private tutoring or commercial tutoring agencies that are available. There's a wide variety, but that's an important thing to talk about with your family to see kind of how you want to approach things. But now you have a lot of information to use to kind of develop a good plan. If you need help making that plan, we are here for you. We can set up a meeting via Zoom or via phone just to kind of talk about your next steps now that you have your scores. Don't hesitate to contact Ms. Campa or me whenever you need anything. Thanks a lot. Stay safe.